Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in. We have a brand new highlighter palette and this is from MAC and these are called the Hyper... well, I could hold it up but I don't want to blind you guys. Alright, it's not too shiny. So Hyper Real Glow palettes. So there are two palettes in total. The one I'm holding up has gold lettering. So the shades that you get in this palette are all gold toned highlighters. The other palette is also called Hyper Real Glow. The name of this palette is actually called Get It Glowing. So Get It Glowing Hyper Real Glow palette is a gold toned one. You also have the pink toned Hyper Real Glow palette. It has like pinky toned colors, so that's a cool toned highlighter palette, and I was seriously considering that palette, but all the shades looked very light on a dark skin. I don't know. I really wanted to buy that, but it looked very pale, so I didn't think it would actually work out on my skin tone. So I skipped that and I bought this one. These retail for $39.50, and these are, I didn't see the words limited edition anywhere. I could be wrong, but as far as I saw, I don't think these are limited editions. So, and these are not exclusive to any particular retailer, so you can find these wherever MAC is available, across department stores, MAC stores, Ulta. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, quantity. You get 4.5 grams each. There are 3 pans, 3 shades in each palette. So in each pan you get 4.5 grams of product. I would not consider that a full size, although there are a lot of companies, beauty brands that sell like a single full size compact containing like 4.5 grams of product and selling it for over $30. There are brands like that, but I don't know. I would consider like anywhere between 8 to 10 grams, like a full 7 to 10 grams. All right, 7 to 10 grams to be a full size single highlighter. So these are definitely mini size, and I think for being in a palette, 4.5 grams in each pan is like a really good size. Yeah, I think that's a good size, and definitely I would consider the 4.5 grams in a pan would be like a mini, and that's all right because this is not a full size. It's more like a palette anyways. And where are these made? These are made in Italy. The palettes are made in Italy. What else? Yeah, and you do have like this plastic thing box is the actual packaging that it came in, and it does have like the list of ingredients and the shade names. The shade names aren't in the palette below or above or beside the pans, but the shade names are at the back of this box. So I don't know which is which, but the center is probably Get It Glowing, and one is Rosy Cheer. Sorry, not Rosy Sheer. One is Rosy Cheer and one is Gold Coasting. So anyways, what else? I think we've touched on the cost, $39.50 and 4.5 grams in each pan. And there are 2 palettes. One is warm toned. I have the warm tone. The cool tone is Rosy Gold, and these are not limited edition as far as I know, and they're not exclusive to a particular retailer. So let's get started with the shades. The shade, I mean, from what I saw, I kind of knew that these are those classic traditional highlighter shades. The center one is the lightest of the 3. So the center one is like a champagne gold. It's like a very, very pale gold. Then the one on this side is a very like pale gold, very similar to MAC's Oh Darling, MAC's Whisper of Guilt, kind of a very pale gold. And this one, as you can see, is the darkest. This is like a bronzy gold color. Not too dark, if you ask me. Not too dark to the point that it gives me like a dark line on my skin tone. It kind of like blends with my skin tone, but it's not at all lighter than my skin tone. So it's not too dark. So if you have like very rich deep dark skin, you can definitely use this as a highlighter. So yeah, anyways, let's get started. Maybe I'll swatch with these. Let's start from here. As you can see, these are pressed powder highlighters, and they are very finely milled, guys. They're so finely milled. They're quite reflective, as you can see. Let's brush swatch it as usual. So that is the gold one. The one I kind of call, at least that's the way I like relate to it. This is a shade very similar to Max Whisper of Guilt, Max, you know, what's the other one? Oh Darling. So that is that color. And I'm not sure what it's called. Maybe it's called Gold Coasting. All right, Gold Coasting. Then next one is the lightest one, which is a champagne gold. This this doesn't exactly give me a white cast or anything when I apply it. I know they kind of look similar, but in person you can tell the difference. This has a hint of more yellow in it, and this does not. This is definitely on the lighter side. This doesn't exactly give me a, you know, like a white cast or anything, but I feel if I over apply it, still I don't feel it does actually give me a white cast. If I over apply it, I can tell that it's like a very, very pale color, which kind of clashes with my skin tone, but I wouldn't call it a white cast exactly. I don't know, but I don't think it gives me a white cast, but it's definitely, it would appear as a like very light color, probably because it's a powder, pressed powder highlighter, and you can tell that I have powder on my skin rather than the extra dimension skin finish baked gelée highlighters where it just melts into your skin and becomes one with your skin. Probably because the texture is a little different, I can tell that I have like a very light toned champagne highlight on my skin rather than like a white. It doesn't look white on my skin for sure, the lighter shade, but I don't know, I can't explain it. Hope you guys, what I said made sense. So that is the lightest color. I'm sorry, that is the darkest color, and probably I think that's called Rosy Cheer. But it's not a rosy toned highlighter at all. So that is that color. As you can see, it like definitely gives like a sheen. Although it's like a darker color, it definitely like highlights my skin. It doesn't like look muted or anything. So those are 3 shades. And the one I have on my face today is the darkest one. As you can see, it definitely gives a very, it's a reflective sheen, as you can see, but it doesn't give that wet look. I don't know, that's how I perceive it. It doesn't like give that wet look. I have it here all the way, on the way, and I had some on my nose, but it's worn off. I also have it on my chin. So I feel it's a different kind of a finish. It is reflective, but I wouldn't consider these highlighters as like a crazy intense reflective wet looking highlighters. I would call these a medium reflective highlighters. It's somewhere in between. It's not it's not a very subtle highlighters, although you can blend it and make it appear as a subtle highlighter. Just apply one layer, and if you just blend it a little bit, it's actually quite subtle and pretty. But I don't think you can achieve like an intense highlighted look with these. I feel it's, even if I did try wetting my brush while I was trying all these highlighters. I wet my brush, but it didn't like take the reflective sheen from a 5 to 10. It like maybe took it from a 5 to 6 maybe, but these are not like crazy reflective wet looking highlighters, but these are like medium, like I think something that most people would love is what they've like catered this formula towards, I think, and that definitely makes sense. It's not like Fenty Beauty's Trophy Wife kind of a reflective wet looking highlighter is what I'm trying to say. The consistency is, these are not powdery at all. These are actually really well pressed and not at all powdery, to be honest, and not chalky or anything, and they are so finely milled, guys. You cannot even detect the tiniest bit of shiny particle. They look shiny altogether if you look at it, but they are extremely finely milled. They're just beautiful. Probably that's why they give this sheen instead of this reflective sparkle. It doesn't look sparkly, you know what I mean? That's the reason, because it's like crazy finely milled. And I feel I did try applying a lot of layers. I applied like once I applied like 2 layers, like applied it using a dry brush, and then I also applied 2 layers over it using a wet brush. My skin did not look wrinkled, or it did not accentuate my texture or any kind of like or any acne or whatnot. You have to like everyone has a lot of texture on skin, so it did not emphasize any texture or anything. It didn't even look like wrinkly. Sometimes I feel powder highlighters, if I layer them on a lot, especially Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, if I layer them a lot, it kind of gives the appearance of like it kind of gives an illusion that I have texture on my skin. That's one of the downsides with Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfectors. But these, no matter how much I layer, they do not give the appearance of dry skin or texture or anything. I'd say definitely the quality is actually really, really good. And you can definitely take it from a subtle to a medium reflective highlighter. I wouldn't say if you're such a fan of like wet looking crazy reflective highlighters, I don't know, I don't think these would satisfy you. So yeah, what else? The quality is amazing. Let's talk about the shade selection. Now, I knew when I bought that the colors are like those classic traditional highlighter colors. You can't go wrong with these. You have like the champagne gold, then like a pale gold, and then like a bronze gold. So it definitely caters to all skin tones. As I said, I don't feel that any of these give me a white cast. If I go a little bit overboard with the lightest shade, the champagne gold, it kind of looks like I have, since I think, as I said earlier, probably because it is a powder formula, kind of looks like I have like a powder sitting on top of my skin. You know what I mean? So if I over apply them, if I go overboard, it kind of looks a little abnormal. But the other shades, probably because they are tiny bit darker, especially this one I applied a lot today but doesn't look crazy, so probably because it's closer to my skin tone, that's why. But if you already own a lot of highlighters, I think you might have all of these shades already in your collection. You know, the shades are nothing like unique or out of the box or special, like especially given the fact that I think highlighting is a trend that will not rest, and I'm happy about that. Companies, I feel, are giving their all to come out with such beautiful different formulation, different colors or whatnot, just to like get people's attention. And I'm here for it. I really like it and I enjoy it. But in a market so like that, and we've come so far, I think the highlighting trend has been going on at least for 2 years now, right? So they've come out with traditional colors. So if you love all kinds of highlighters, you definitely enjoy this one, because as I said, the quality is 100%. It's like there's nothing I could say wrong about this formula. It's like the palette is perfect for all skin tone, I think. Especially for dark skin tone. I think if you have light skin tone, you might be able to use these two. If you're very, very pale, I don't know if any of these colors would work. I'm talking about like extremely pale skin. So if you have dark skin, it's like this palette is perfect. But if you have a lot of highlighters, just looking for fun, like out of the box, unique palettes, this probably might not be it, because the formula, although the formula is like perfect, you know, the shades are like the traditional classic shades you probably might already own. So yeah, that's something to think about before purchasing it, if you have like a large collection. But if you are like a highlighter junkie, I think you might definitely like this, because the quality is there, the colors are beautiful, and if you have dark skin, all three colors, they do work for you. Just don't go overboard with the center color. Although, as I said, although it doesn't give like leave a white cast, it doesn't look white on my skin. It does look kind of like a little bit abnormal. I'm talking about doing over 2 layers on the skin with the center shade, the lightest shade, the champagne gold. So yeah, I think even you can see in the pan, they're not too reflective. They just give this reflective sheen. That's how they look also on the skin. So yeah, you guys, we've come to the end of this review. Hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.